I'm Ziva.
And I'm Ahava, and we're building houses in Mexico.
And this is New Mexicast. Hooray!
Time passes.
Welcome back, everyone.
And years bring change. People grow, oh, and memories remain. Memories remain.
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Memories remain. Yes, they do.
Hello and welcome to New Mexicast, everyone, my longtime video podcast or web series, which is now this enchanting weekly TV show. I wanted to shoot the intro for this week's episode here on the job site where my family just participated in a home building project with two wonderful groups. One is called Life Vantage and the other is called Families Helping Families. And the reason I wanted to do that is because coming up in season 2 of New Mexicast, I've got a 4-part series about that, building homes in Mexico. So I kind of wanted to give you a little teaser of what's coming up for next season. Meanwhile, this is the end of season 1, but there's plenty to still share with you. 2 amazing stories out of Taos, New Mexico and the Summer of Love. Welcome back to New Mexicast, everyone. I'm Rosa Román, and I have been out of touch for a few weeks as my family traveled from New Mexico to where we are right now in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Some people have asked if we are on a long vacation, and the answer is yes and no. I will share a lot more about what we have been up to in the coming weeks here on New Mexicast as I make a bit of a shift and share with you firsthand some of the major life-changing decisions that we have been making. But suffice it to say that we are on an extended family adventure. We're embarking on something new that brings about a major lifestyle change. And to that end, it is fitting that our next several stories are about people who really live life differently than the norm. Beginning with a woman who, back in the 60s, was in the heart of the hippie movement and is now sharing her amazing images as part of Taos, New Mexico's Summer of Love. This high-quality New Mexicast story is brought to you by... Where are we going?
To the dentist.
What's the name of the dentist?
Is it Dr. Riachi?
Yeah.
For as long as my children have had teeth, and in fact long before my children ever existed, Dr. Galina Riachi has been our family dentist.
Yep, we're gonna look in your mouth. You wanna do that? Well, have a seat with your
And once you visit Dr. Riachi and her exceptional team at ABQ Dentists, you will understand why.
Ready? Open big.
From the amazing way she puts nervous little ones and even nervous adults at ease, to the state-of-the-art dental equipment and expertise, ABQ Dentists is where you will find the smile you've always dreamed of. See for yourself at abqdentist.com. With majestic mountains on one side and the gorgeous Rio Grande Gorge on the other, Taos, New Mexico has plenty of things to showcase in a travel guide or brochure. But this summer, the scenery wasn't the sell. Instead, it's Taos's hippie history that got the attention.
We were looking for a theme. We've never had a travel theme in Taos, and we're coordinated more than we ever have been for tourism. And we decided to try to come up with something that dovetailed for a lot of different people throughout the Taos area.
What sealed the deal was the return of former Taos resident, actor and artist Dennis Hopper to curate a show at the Harwood Museum of Art.
Dennis Hopper had been contacted over the last 5 years to do a show. We said, well, this is the anniversary of the release of Easy Rider. It's the town's 75th. What can we come up with that will be fun for everyone and easy to participate and also sort of fits our aesthetic? And we decided that the Summer of Love was it. A lot of people thought we were crazy to begin with, but it has really mushroomed into a fabulous series of events.
And Dennis Hopper isn't the only famous participant. His longtime friend, fellow actor and artist Robert Dean Stockwell calls Taos home.
Is that the RB Ravens?
A little bit more smile. For Taos resident and photographer Lisa Law, having Dennis Hopper and his buddies back in town is like a family reunion.
I like to see them all together because I see them all the time separately, but it's nice to see them all together.
She has been taking pictures of famous faces like theirs since the original Summer of Love more than 40 years ago.
So that's when he was editing the last movie here in Taos.
I've got a lot of 8x10s cleaned, and I'm working on now this 11x14s.
As she prepares her own show as part of the Taos Summer of Love celebration,
Here's actually a picture of me and my husband and our little baby girl. I don't know if you can see her in the middle there with my hippie bus. Our hippie bus and teepee.
It quickly becomes clear that Lisa Law wasn't a photographer with a glimpse of the era's most significant moments. She was a participant with a camera.
I was there for all these major events, for Monterey Pop and for the Human Being with Allen Ginsberg and Timothy Leary. So I just happened to have a camera, and I'd pick up the camera and I'd shoot some pictures. Well, I'm one of the few people that shoot the pictures and keep the negatives. Then I had this little box, and I put all the negatives in my box. And then as the years went by, I got more and more boxes, and all of a sudden there was people wanted these pictures. So I became the documentary photographer of the 60s.
In fact, Lisa's lens captured some of the most famous photos, which are now like a who's who of the 60s and 70s.
This is my most famous picture of Bob Dylan. So that was taken in the solarium in the castle in 1966. We lived in the castle, and the Velvet Underground were there, and Dylan and Tiny Tim and Wavy Gravy and Richard Mimi Farina and David Crosby, and I shot Tim Hardin's first album cover there. So I documented the 60s quite a bit.
From the hog farmers at the New Buffalo commune.
When we came, New Buffalo was just being built, and that's my teepee right there. So we set up our teepee, and then we helped make the adobe bricks.
To the pig that ran for president in 1968.
The hog farmers, we got their name because they were taking care of a hog farm in California. And then they got a bunch of money for making a movie Skidoo with Otto Preminger, and they got their buses together and traveled. And they took one little hog with them. Well, the hog got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and pretty soon they couldn't take her. But they ran her for president. So Pegasus ran for president. And that's Pegasus.
And, of course, to Woodstock.
So here's Wavy Gravy at Woodstock. He's just about to go on the stage there, and he says, what we have in mind is breakfast in bed for 400,000. And my job was to help feed the masses. So I get credit with me and Johanna Ra, Wavy's wife. Johanna Ra and I were in charge of the hog farm feeding the masses. We fed 200,000 people. This is my husband putting up the first teepee at Woodstock with the Asker's cow.
Each and every one of Lisa Law's photos tells a story.
Here's the stage right here, okay? And then up here were the food booths, the concessions, and those concessions ran out of the food the first night.
Which is why, 4 decades later, her work is so highly regarded and can be found in the Smithsonian Museum.
This is one of the ones that's in the Smithsonian. You can go on the virtual site and see this. This is Janice Joplin. Do you want it out of the plastic?
No, it's perfect.
This is right after she came up to Truchas, where we lived, and we had a farm up there, and she came up and visited me.
For some, talk of communes, hippies, and counterculture is nothing more than a blast from the past.
This is one of the first pictures of the Grateful Dead, and then I shot Ginsberg dancing to the Grateful Dead.
But for Lisa Law and a lot of others here in Taos, they are perfect reasons to celebrate.
The way I like to think about it is that it's time we all had a little fun again. There's a lot of serious things happening internationally down through locally. And it just fits with what Taos is about. We're a serious art colony, but it's a place to really come and have fun. We're a great travel deal. And it's like traveling out of the U.S. without going out of the U.S.
Oh yeah, because since we're in Taos, like here's little Joe Gomez with Ben Marcus behind. And this is when you could shoot the dances, you can't shoot them anymore.
In Taos, New Mexico, for New Mexicast, I'm Rosalinda Román. Let me tell you, Lisa Law made way too many photos to include in just this story. So the good news is she made a book. This is called Flashing on the 60s by Lisa Law, and it includes many of her amazing photographs right there in the book. So I know in the intro I mentioned a lot of changes, and some people may be concerned, but let me assure you one thing not changing: the quality of stories right here on New Mexicast. So please stick around. Thank you for your support. Make sure to be subscribed, leave a comment, and we'll see you in a few weeks. I'm Rosalinda Román. Not used to this humidity. I'm melting. Okay, here we go.
So here's I was on when I took this picture. Should I say that to the camera? I was on
Family-friendly show, so I think I'm not going to include that.
Oh, I was really when I shot this picture.
You were in a good mood.
Okay, here we go. I can say that again. I was in a really good mood when I shot this picture.